Hi, everyone. This is Kelly Bone with Saving Pets One Pet at a Time. And I'm here today with Chelsea Kent, who's with Solutions Pet Food and Heroes Pets. And I'm also here with Sonja Tutwiler, who owns the Raw Pet Store in Largo, Florida, as well as Tampa, Florida. And just to give you an idea, so Sonja and I are partners in a way. I have a store called Saving Pet Store, and she is the brainchild and the shipping person behind it. So when people order through my store, it goes to her, and her store does the product fulfillment and ships them. So just to give you an idea why we're doing this.
So I am Sonja. I am from Raw Pets, as I was introduced. I am a big fan of Solutions. I carry Solutions. I think I might be allowed to say, wasn't I the first one to get some? I think a long time
Yep.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for it. And what I focus as in a business is the quality of everything that we carry. So Solutions to me is the cream of the crop. That's one of the most important things we carry. And everything that we have, that we offer, we want it to align with those types of beliefs. So as you know, I'm now helping Kelly, and we're supplying her store, and we do all the shipping for her. So every time one of the Savings Pets members orders, that's who's in the background here, as Kelly mentioned. So and again, everything that we carry, we have nothing synthetic. We want to know its sourcing. We want to know that it's meeting our checklist, or we simply remove it. Over the years, there's been brands that have come and gone at Raw Pets because they didn't meet any more my ethics, so I needed to move on from them. And we when we sell Solutions, I don't know if it was in between when I was trying to get the technology going back up, but Solutions has these wonderful restorative diets, and that's something that when they first came out with the restorative diets, it was a little bit tricky for people to say, okay, well, how much do I need for a month? And, what does that look like? And how much is it going to cost me? So, and they're on Kelly's site as well. You can go and buy the kidney diet, and you can see how long it will last. You can go and buy the milk diet. All the diets that Solutions has as restorative diets, we've put them into packages too, to make it easier for people to figure out everything that they need. And and we're always here to help. So all of us are quite supportive. So here we do some consultations. We offer them to everyone in Kelly's group. Where if you are switching to a new fresh food diet, sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming and confusing, and you need a little bit of help when you get there. So we always say we're all very supportive. I mean, I ask Chelsea questions all the time. We all have questions for each other all the time. And the really great part about anyone that I work with, everybody's reachable, right? There's always someone there to support. And I think that's very important in this space. But so, we're down here in Florida, but over the years, even there, when Solutions first started, it was really hard for a lot of stores to stock the product, or where can I get it from? And we just put it in a box for you with some dry ice and get it to you. That's so we've been able to help get a lot of the things that people need easier, because sometimes when you go to your local pet store, they might not have all these things. So we're constantly trying to work and find ways. How can we make sure everybody has all the really good stuff that they need to heal their animals? I heavily use Solutions in all my pets rotation. A lot of the supplements, I know Chelsea couldn't, I mean, there's a lot of the good supplements. I mean, the favorite ones that we really love are probably Biome, Parasite Free, Heavy Metal. Um, you know, um, those are some really important ones that we use a lot here. You know, I think everybody goes home also with goat milk or one of the jiggles. That's always important. So, and like I say too, some people are, we like how nutrient dense the food is, especially when people come in and they say, hey, I have a puppy or something like that. What do you want me to put my dog in? It's usually my first answer because of the density of the food and how much is in it. So, like I said, we've Solutions is one of very few brands that we carry because again, we don't need too many different food varieties. We just need the right tools to help the animals. That's always our goal. And then so that's about the consultations, this slide. So we do offer the consultations if anybody ever wants them, and we can help you from anything of, hey, I don't know where to begin, to, oh, I've been doing this for my dog with allergies, what else could I try? So we do offer that service as well.
So Sonja, can you explain to, so, I'm familiar with both of you guys that do the counseling, and your fees are much less than other canine nutritionist fees. So I want to let people know on this call. And it's because Sonja and Charlotte, who do the consultations, they want to make sure that they spend the time with you. They'll take you through and explain the products and how it's going to benefit you and things like that. And again, I think you really get your bang for your buck there. Can you also tell us about how how you ship things differentiates from some of the other companies? Because I know you're very particular about how you ship.
Yes.
Oops, Sonja?
Oh, is everybody there?
No,
Are you guys still there? Okay.
Yeah.
So, shipping is a skill. Shipping is something that took a lot of time for us to learn. Coming from Florida, especially where, as I'm sitting in my car, it's 92 degrees right now, and this is the norm here. So, with the demand, we had to really figure out how to do it correctly, and to ship correctly, you have to have the right materials. You have to know how to do some math. You need to know how much dry ice to put in the box. Because the other problem is we can't control, once we hand your package over to UPS or FedEx, we can't control what they're going to do. So my biggest goal is always, how am I going to protect that package to make sure that it gets there safely? I see a lot of horror stories online. I see a lot of people that have gotten their packages and their stuff's not frozen and it's a mess. And, then they're arguing with wherever they ordered it from to try to get it back. But we try to be flawless. It's very rare that we ever have an issue. There was even one in the winter. It was actually a Solutions customer that we shipped to, and it got lost with FedEx. It was luckily cold. It was 9 days in transit, and when she got it, it was still frozen solid. So that's really important, and there's no other way to explain it as it's just a skill. We do ask for a little bit of a minimum weight because that helps a lot. So, and especially coming into the summer, like, we like your order to be about 15, 20 pounds, because again, that's just something we've learned over time. Like, a little more weight in the box, it has a way better chance, so we try to secure it as best we can so that if anything happens in between, it's still safe.
And that's another benefit of getting the milks and the jiggles. They're great big chunks of frozen ice, so they help to get it there too. And I'll add, Sonja is uniquely one of the only direct-to-consumer distributors for Solutions in the country. I don't know of more than just the 3 people that we work with. So Sonja being a primary one that can do that. And it's also really rare to be able to get a wholesale order from a place that can ship. So hopefully, like, retailers understand that Sonja will ship to them directly at their cost as well.
Yep, and the neat part about us, even though Raw Pets is kind of small, for the folks that do have a store, I think we carry a lot more of the SKUs than some of the bigger distribution companies. So a lot of these retail stores are like, hey, I can't even get that product from my distributor. Or if so, they have to order so far out that it's going to be a few weeks or something, where we basically have pretty much everything in stock all the time. So,
Okay.
Super valuable.
yeah, we've helped a lot of stores, even with the dry products, I would say, especially when it comes to, you know, if I am distributing to a retail business, what are they buying? It's usually a lot of the herbs and things like that that they're trying to get, because they're so helpful, all of them.
Yeah. All right. The other thing I'd like to add is I go up to see Sonja quite a bit at her store, and I've got to know her staff. Their staff and Sonja are so easy to get along with, and they're actually a riot to be around. So,
Oh, they're in there. Do you want to see them? Even the cat's in there running around. Roscoe's in there today, my naughty dog. It's a full house in there today.
are they out there getting all the bones and stuff? She has this little area where she has all these raw bones and everything, and they're up on this table, and they just go up and help themselves. They bring them around the store and stuff. It's a little bit crazy, but it's pretty cool. So, anyways, I wanted to let you know that, because if you call and you're not in Florida and you have to call and you have a question or whatever, you just call and you'll probably get Charlotte or Sonja, and you'll talk to them, and they'll walk you through and tell you what they think. And if it's something more detailed, they'll probably ask you to do a consultation. But again, as I said, their consultations are more reasonably priced than anybody I have seen so far. So you're definitely getting a lot of bang for your buck. So is there anything else you want to add, you guys?
No, I think, and then Heroes, you know, Chelsea has Heroes. We're very similar in our beliefs. It's just, you know, like you're doing in your group. Thank you for doing what you do, Kelly. I know it's a lot of work. I know how much work you do. I know.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's really grateful. I mean, I'm extremely grateful that people have a resource as your page to go to see these things that you vetted out for them, you know?
Yeah.
Because I know too, like being in the retail space, Chelsea's been in the retail space, like we literally, all we want is the best for all these pets. So we do this full background check on everything. So, you know,
Right.
we need to know. And like I said, Solutions is probably my number one favorite out there for sure. So I was the one waiting here, like I can't wait to get it. And I'm delighted to say like I said, I think I got the first shipment or something.
Yes,
So
I think so. Yeah, and it is really a full-time job to do all of the vetting, and like as a retailer, as a distributor, with what you do, Kelly, like as a manufacturer, it is really, really a lot of work. And I do see a lot of people out there that are trying to do a good job with grocery store stuff and not realizing that, like for me, as an example, I am incapable of sourcing ingredients that are as good quality as what we put in Solutions for myself. So when I want to get like pork, then I'm like calling my farmers. I'm like, can I get some pork? Can I get some eggs? I end up shipping a lot of the stuff that Solutions sourcing because it's better quality than even the natural grocery stores that are around me. I know what these animals are eating and things like that. And in a retail store, the changes that companies can have, like just because they were a good company before doesn't mean that they are now. And so having people like Kelly and Sonja and all of the stores around the country that are putting in the time and effort to try and vet products and that are brave enough to let a product go from their recommendations list when something changes and they don't really align with those values anymore is absolutely invaluable, unless you just have an unlimited amount of time with your normal life to do that. Like this is our jobs.
Right.
Well, that's the only thing that we really do, and it's really, really important, and I'm so thankful for you guys that you do it as well.
Yeah, you know, one thing that I hear from my members a lot, and I hear it from people when I go out talking and stuff like that, because I'm the crazy person that if I see a dog, I have to go up and attack them, and I have to talk to the person, and what are you feeding? What kind of medical conditions do they have? Those types of things. So one of the things that I hear is, they're usually, like you said, Chelsea, they're usually feeding something that's at Costco or the grocery store or what have you. and then we'll get to talking. And usually the dog's got quite a few medical conditions, or the cat. And so one thing I always try to tell them is, you know what, you're either gonna pay at the bowl and pay for really good pet food, or you're gonna pay at the vet's office, and you're gonna get a lot of really dangerous things at the vet's office. And you know, my dog died from Science Diet dog food. I learned the hard way. I did what the vet told me, and I paid the price. And fortunately or unfortunately, I've spent the last 7 years obsessed with pet food and pet everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, guys, really think about what you're doing and think about how can you take a step up the nutritional pet food ladder. You know, maybe you can't afford an entire diet right now of solutions, but you could probably afford the cheeses or the goat milks and the some of those things. And it's a building block. You know, you start improving and next thing you know, you're going to be like, okay, I'm all in. So
Another thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
One other thing that I'll tell customers too is, like, if you think about humans and the way that we manage our diets, like sometimes you make an effort, but you don't eat really, really well all the time. But if you can go on a diet and say for 1 week a month, you can just do really, really good quality and be really controlled, you still gain so much metabolic
that's a good
benefit
point.
from that. So let's say that you're doing 1 week of every month of a restricted diet of, say, just solutions, or, you know, pick a good quality thing if you have to. I don't know why you would pick something more expensive, but like, just pick something really, really good quality and just restrict them to only that for a week. You're still going to have improvements, even if the foundation is not optimal all the time for budget reasons.
That's a good
Right.
point.
And I was going to chime in to even add to this some more is the thing that I see a lot, and I worry, and it happens, like you said, Kelly, you see a dog on the street and you talk to people, and that happens to me too. And what I see a lot is people will say, well, I'm cooking for my dog. Even my own cousin recently, I talked to him on the phone. He goes, oh, I like cook ground turkey and I throw some vegetables in it. I'm like, but where's your calcium? Where's your nutrients? Like,
Right.
I love all the people that are trying to cook, but please always remember to chime in with someone or a recipe to make sure you're doing complete and balanced over time, or
Yeah.
toss in your solutions sometimes. I see that a lot, and we don't want these animals to have issues down the road because they were deprived of nutrients.
That's a good point.
So
Yeah.
and also too, like Chelsea said, or like you said, Kelly, you can always add something, right? If the diet's not in your budget, we can all teach you and help you how to up the nutrition by doing these simple little things. And you don't have to just change the diet if it's not in your budget, but we can sure help you figure out what you can do to add to increase the nutrition in your pets.
Right. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we close?
Just thank you for being you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Crazy lady. Be quiet, Sonja.
I just thank all of you for being you, it's great gals right here.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
awesome.
Well, thank you very much. And members, what I'll do is, we'll get this posted, and I'll put the coupon codes on there, as well as some links that you could go to, like some of the things that we discussed. I have links on my website that would be helpful, so I'll put those all on there as well. And then I'll also put Hero Pet's website on there as well. So with that, we will close. And I want to thank everybody for spending time with us watching this. I'm in awe of Chelsea all the time. Every time I hear her talk, I'm like, my God, this is the smartest person I've ever seen in my life. Every time I hear her talk about different things, I'm like, holy cow. And Sonja is a bundle of energy, and she's doing great things in her store. It's really remarkable to see how much she's growing leaps and bounds, and she's got more things planned and more products coming in. And she wears me out when she texts me every day. She's all excited to tell me all the things she's doing.
Just got to keep it moving over here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. You guys have a nice day.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.